a frightening one for those travelers up in the sky. This morning at early hours, SQ368 bound for Milan had to make an emergency landing here in Singapore after taking off at 2 a.m. The plane caught on fire with the engines, and that was a problem according to the airline. Let's go straight to Tony Waterman back in the newsroom in Singapore. And Tony, you know, when I read this morning, I thought this is fairly frightening because mostly on my trips to Europe, I've taken that flight many times aboard that Boeing 777. What was behind this?
Yeah, Adam, certainly not a good way to be starting off the week there. But this Singapore Airlines plane was already in the midst of an emergency turnaround. And you can see from the video that's coming out that the right wing of the plane was just completely engulfed in flames. Now, SIA just saying in a Facebook message that the aircraft's right engine caught fire after the aircraft touched down at about 7 o'clock this morning. Firefighters were able to put the fire out pretty quickly, and SIA saying that no one was injured. There were 222 passengers and 19 crew on board that plane. Now, this flight, as you mentioned, was SQ368. It was on its way to Milan. About 2 hours into the flight, the pilot announced that there was a problem with an engine and that the plane was going to have to head back to Singapore. SIA is saying that there was an engine oil warning message that came on. That's what prompted this turnaround. Now, those passengers were saying, though, that as the plane got ready to land, there was an explosion of some sort, and that's when the wing caught fire. Again, that fire was put out and there are no injuries. Those passengers, they got off the plane through stairs and were transported to the terminal building by bus. And this Singapore-Milan flight usually flies a Boeing 777, and it does this route about 4 times a week. Those passengers are now going to be put on another flight to Milan. That's expected to take place later today, but certainly some very